Hi, this is Stuart Servitar, studatuta of Vivid Prep, coming to you with another StuTube. It's been a little while because, well, I've been busy. I'm in the city now, as you can see by my cluttered environment, but I just wanted to talk to you about the new reading changes that are coming to the curriculums in New York City schools. They have determined in their wisdom that it's time to change the course of the reading structure, the way we teach reading in schools, and to return to a more phonics, spelling, fundamentals-based curriculum. I don't know the new plans. I don't know how they're going to be played out. I don't know how they'll work or if they work very well, but I do commend the return to basics to get away from having students fall in love with reading, which is commendable, but the way they've been teaching reading has been problematic, as has been demonstrated by the decline in reading scores, which have certainly been worsened by the pandemic. But what I wanted to say here in my StuTube, based on my experience with students that are coming to me from usually fairly affluent backgrounds, is that even among them, the past 20, 30, 40 years of education, more progressive models of reading, getting away from holding students' feet to such rigors as the spelling of the English language, which is arbitrary and difficult, but even getting away from phonics or sounding out words, just like we've gotten away from, learning multiplication tables and rote mechanics in math, has been incredibly, obscenely, horribly destructive to the education of our youth for too long. There's no way to make learning certain things fun or easy. They just have to get done. There are better ways to do it. There are ways to be engaging while you're teaching it. There are ways to make kids, play games with them. There's a lot of ways, but you got to get it in there somehow. And we haven't, and we don't, and it's unfortunate. Spelling does sort of matter. Standards sort of matter. Knowing your multiplication tables matters because numbers have qualities. And as you get to higher math, if you don't have those foundations, you're just digging up, you're scrambling without a foundation to build a house. Same for reading. The idea that kids pick the books they like and they get involved that way is sweet, but you're not always going to be reading what you like. If you are going to pursue education or a career, you're going to have to learn to develop the muscles and the mental discipline to read through the material that is not always to your liking, that sometimes is incredibly boring. And that's what students face on standardized tests. That's what they face on their in their schoolwork. That's what they will face for life. And I tell my students, the kids who can make it through dense material are the kids who win. You can say what you will about tests and unfairness and this or that, but if you can plow through the material, you can read an email to its end and not just the first few lines that pop up on your phone. If you can follow directions, if you could read the legalese in a contract or anything you get in your life, you're going to win. You're not going to miss out. And unfortunately, that has not been encouraged except by us. We always try to push kids through that, and we hope that will be what is stressed going forward, because we're not always going to love what's in front of us. And what really kills kids and kills their love for reading is never the fact that they're being taught how to read. What gets them to stop reading more often than not, when I ask kids, did you used to read as a kid? They'll tell me, I used to, but homework, the burdens of school reading has eroded that. I have other thoughts about homework and the needlessness of a lot of it. And we could follow that up at another time. But the point here today is that the time to teach kids these mechanical things is when they're very young. We don't have to worry about too much about pleasing them because they're kids, and they will be willing to do that when they're first, second, third, fourth, fifth grade. They might not be as they become middle schoolers and are distracted by so many other things. So please, goodness, people, support these ideas and support it for your own children to get them those fundamentals they need early, because they're just going to come back to haunt them if they don't.